Is this thing on? Okay, awesome. Hey, welcome to the Murfreesboro Beercast. We are so happy that you're here to learn about all things beer here in Rutherford County. Beer is community, and community involves beer, and that's what we're here to build is community, and do it while we enjoy a glass of beer. So sit back, relax, listen for a few minutes, learn what's going on at all the breweries and other beer joints here in town, and just enjoy being part of our community. We're glad you're here. Hello and welcome to the Murfreesboro Beercast. My name's Jonathan Harmon. I'm your host. This is our very first episode. I happen to be one of the owners here at Cedar Glade Brews, but that's not what it's about. This is about community. This is about Rutherford County. This is about the beer scene right here in Rutherford County. So all the cool things that are happening at all of the beer places here, all the people that are involved in that, all the people that make beer great and make Rutherford County great through beer. So we're going to get started with this first episode, and I'm so excited to be here. And huge thanks to our friend Brian Nail over at Premise Mortgage, and he is underwriting this show and making it possible. So thank you, Brian. We love you, man. And as the episodes progress, we'll have Brian on probably, and we do have the commercial. Mm-hmm. Wait, breaking news! We have the commercial. This just in. Let's run it.
Hey, my name is Brian Nell. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Premise Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission and helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly be a pleasure to be a part of what they do. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Premise Mortgage is a subsidiary of Premise Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Premise Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
To have you in our community and to be part of this community, specifically the beer community here in town. So what is this Beercast going to be about? That's the question, right? And I'll tell you what it's going to be about. So we're going to talk about new stuff that's going on tap at the non-brewery places. We're going to talk about the new beers that the brewers have created. We're going to talk about beer events. We're going to talk about events at beer places. We're going to talk about festivals, tasting events, brewery tours, anything that's coming up that involves my favorite beverage, which is, what is that? Oh, yes, that's right, beer. That's correct. Okay. We're also going to have guests come on. We're going to taste beer together. We're going to talk about the things that they're brewing, the things that they love, and how they got into this very social drink. All right, here we go. Let's start with what's pouring in Murfreesboro. So we're going to go right in. Pouring at the three breweries that I've got info from. So the first one, Middle Ground, the newest kid on the block out there on the other side of the interstate from us, over by Sam's Club. If you haven't been there yet, you got to go check them out. Brandon and crew are doing an excellent job over there, and he is making some spectacular beer. So coming up on tap for him, we've got an Irish Stout that'll be released on Saturday. Coming up soon, he's got a new IPA. He did a Pecco. It was called Pecco Cold IPA that was just next level. And then he did a single hop Centennial that was delicious as well. He's got a new lager coming. And as you'll get to know about me, I turn my nose up to this, but a lot of people love it. He's got a smoked beer coming up. So good for you on the smoked beer. I'll taste it and move on. Mayday, the OGs right here in Murfreesboro, the first ones. Sometimes when we talk about Delaware, we say first is the worst. That is not the case with Mayday. They are still throwing it down, having a great time over there and making some great beer. So we got the information from them. They always have a new small batch each week. They release one. And what they've got on right now, small batches, they've got one called Embers of Spring. It's an ESB. Oh, sing to me, Mayday. That is my favorite style of beer. ESBs rock. They've got one called a King's Porter, which is an IPA. Staring into the Sun Lambic, which is pretty interesting. I've actually tasted that. It's pretty good. Without Further Ado, which is a stout. And then over at Cedar Glade, moving over here, we are releasing Rory the Third, our Irish Red. So the third iteration of our Irish Red. Rory means red-headed king. So this is Rory the Third. And that gets released on Friday. Okay. We also released a bunch of stuff in the can cooler. Tent Meadow, Urban Artifact has a new beer called Cappy Snacks that we released, and several different IPAs in our can cooler. All right. Next section, we're going to talk about events that are coming up. So,
Sorry.
everybody's got some kind of St. Patrick's thing going on. Let me just do that one more time because I just totally ran into this. Everybody's got some kind of St. Patrick's thing going on. Several of the places, I know Panther and Middle Ground are both doing theirs on Saturday. Mayday is doing theirs on St. Patty's on Sunday. Cedar Glade is also doing theirs on Sunday. So we've got at Mayday, here's what we got. Where did it go? Hold on. Oh, yeah, here we go. St. Patrick's Day celebration on 3/17 with $5 cheese and pepperoni pizzas and green beer and live music from the Lilliston Effect. Cedar Glade's St. Patrick's Day starts at 11 on Sunday, and we've got Fitzwilly's Food Truck serving traditional Irish fare, including bangers and mash with an onion gravy made with Cedar Glade Stout and a shepherd's pie also made with Cedar Glade Stout. And then, of course, corned beef and cabbage and several other dishes that John Fitzgerald is incredible at making. So can't wait for that. Other events coming up, Mayday Music Bingo with Ozzy every Tuesday, regular bingo every Thursday, live music on Fridays. And then save the dates, 3/24, we got rom-com trivia. That sounds horrid, but I'm sure it's going to be well attended because... yeah, wow. Okay. Missy's in the background right now going, oh, that sounds great. And I'm going, oh, shoot me now. 3:31, they've got donut and beer pairing. And 4:14, they've got Disney trivia, Disney Singo, and Disney Bingo because it is Disney week. And Middle Ground, they've got coming up, Heart of Vinyl's actually going to be there during St. Patrick's Day. And then 7 to 9 p.m., they've got Zone Status playing Irish beer and corned beef sandwiches all day long. And let's see, 3:14. So this Thursday, Taylor Swift trivia from 7 to 8. And on Wednesday, the 13th, it is Cards Against Devon, Cards Against Humanity group game at 6 o'clock. So that should be a lot of fun over there. Save the dates here at Cedar Glade, Sapphire Wood Studios, Beers and Boards class. It's twice a month. Check them out, Sapphire Wood Studios, to schedule your time. And then we're starting something new on April 6th. Evans Plant Farm is doing plants and pints. And so you come in, you pay a fee to them, and you get like a pot and some dirt and some plants. You drink some beer and hang out and have a good time. And then definitely want to save this date. I know it's a long way off, but it'll be here real soon. June 7th. It's a Friday. We are hosting the International Folk Fest. We will have 3 countries folk dancers, plus our own Cripple Creek Cloggers playing and dancing, and it's going to be humongous. We do need some sponsors for that, so if that's something that you're interested in sponsoring, please let me know. All right. Next, we're going to go right into the homebrew highlight, and we're going to pull Robert Hartman in. He's the brewer here at Cedar Glade Brews. We're going to pull him in here in just a sec, and we're going to watch this video from Amanda and Linda Bimson. All right, now we're to the part of the show where we're going to start bringing on some guests and talking people, because beer is ultimately about community, and so we're going to bring in some of that community right now. I'm going to bring on my special guest for this show, Mr. Robert Hartman. He is the brewer at Cedar Glade Brews right here at 906 Ridgely Road. Robert, come on to the stage here. He's a little shy, so let's welcome him to the show. And the crowd goes wild. There we go. You're about to graduate from MTSU, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Fermentation Sciences, gonna have a full degree. You excited? Yeah.
It's
What are
been a
your job
long
prospects
journey.
after that? You better have the right answer for this one.
Hopefully I'll get a big boy job.
Yeah. Before we go any further into all of that,
Just try to make the thing go. Go ahead.
before we go any further into all that, we're gonna hear from some of the homebrewers. As you know, we hosted here at Cedar Glade Brews. We hosted the Mid-State Brew Crew meeting. They hop around to the different beer places that we love. And this past weekend, we were able to catch them and record a few of them and learn a little bit more about them. So you know them and you love them. Everybody call it. It's Amanda, and then Mom. Miss Linda.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Zoom in on this. Okay, here's how to get free beer, eh?
All right, state your name,
Amanda Bimson,
Linda Bimson.
and you are,
Mid-State Brewsters.
and you are.
Mid-State Brewers.
Okay, well, good. Just making sure. Just making sure we're all on the same page here. So, all right. So I got Amanda and Linda here, and it's a mom and daughter team. And you guys have brewed some of at the events that I've attended, at least. Y'all have brewed some of the more creative, interesting beers. I remember the very first time I ever had a glitter beer was one that you guys made. It was awesome. And so tell me this, what is your favorite kind of beer to make?
We make a pina colada IPA that we fondly call If You Like Pina Coladas.
And what's your favorite kind of beer to make?
I like all the stouts and all the ports, but we do a downtown chai brown that's really good.
I've had that.
People like
It's
that one.
quite good, yes. And your favorite kind of drink then?
Oh, stouts and porters.
Stouts and porters?
IPAs.
All right. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen as an adjunct in a beer?
Man, you had to throw that one in there.
Yeah.
That we've used or that anybody's
Just
used?
anywhere where you're like, what?
Glenn makes a lot of weird stuff. He puts everything in his backyard in a beer. So, like we were just talking about moss and acorns and it's just
Glitter
too
was the
much.
main thing. The glitter was the one thing.
Yeah, but glitter got to be popular.
Yeah.
So
But y'all are like glitter hipsters though. Y'all did it before.
nah, we just like to look. You got to know your crowd
Yes.
when you're serving, and if you know that that's what people will like to drink because it's glittery and it's beautiful and pretty, then of course we're
And
gonna
the
make it.
ladies love it.
Yep. The only problem is if you spill a little bit on yourself, your wife tends to question where you've been.
That's
that
true.
evening.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so unnoticeable. It's not that glittery, but yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Favorite event of the year that you guys serve at?
Oakland's Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest?
Yep.
Same one.
Same? All right.
one.
Very good. And what is it that you like about that event?
It goes to a really good cause. It keeps the mansion running. We love them at Oakland's. They always take really good care of us. The place is absolutely gorgeous.
Great
We
setting.
do it in the fall, so
Mhm.
it's a nice
Mhm.
day. It's always beautiful there. It's the culmination of the entire year.
Agreed.
They're friends.
Yeah.
Every
they're
one of them,
friends.
when we go in there to set up, they know us and they go, okay, they're here and they're friends.
And that's kind of what this is about, right? It's all about community.
it is.
Right. Yep.
Very much so.
So, all right. Very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Zoom in on this. Okay, here's how to get free beer, eh?
Right. So, and that's really what it's about is beer is great. I love drinking beer. I love trying new beers and all that kind of thing. But it really comes down to the community that it creates. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about the home brewers. That's what I love about what all the breweries that we've talked about today. They have their own little community, and then that's part of a bigger community that kind of just knows and loves and hangs out with each other. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
I'm still stuck on the moss and acorns in a beer.
Can Cedar Glade do that? Can you do an acorn beer?
I mean, yeah, you can, but
Should you do an acorn
Probably
beer?
not.
Yeah, that's another
No.
question. So the next thing we want to do is we're gonna taste some beer together. Does that sound all right?
that sounds great.
Okay, so we're gonna start.
As long as there's no moss in it.
Yeah, no moss that I'm aware of. Now it's been sitting here for a few minutes, but this is tell us what this is.
Yeah, this is our Maniac Pale Ale. And you know more of the story behind it, but this, to my knowledge, is our very first beer that came on tap. It was a happy accident, but it's just a really easy pale ale, a little brighter, hoppier finish than I would say usual, but
Yeah, it's a little hoppier than. Well, let's just taste it, and then we'll
let's
talk
just do
about
it.
it. I mean, my goodness, cut to the chase already. So, it's a little hoppier than some folks' pale ale, but it's not as hoppy as an IPA.
Sure.
And it's a different hop characteristic. So,
Right.
what are the hops that are in this beer?
This one is, well, it's a very large blend that starts off with Hallertau Magnum, and then it's Centennial, Citra, dry hopped with Amarillo and Hallertau Middle Fruit.
Okay. And the tell me more about the Hallertau, because I know that's like the biggest piece of that. What is special about that one? And what is it normally used in?
Well, those are German noble hops. So almost every single German beer that you can think of, most of them will have some sort of variation of German noble hops in it. The Magnum version is just a higher alpha acid, so you can use a lot less to get all of your bittering or most of your bittering.
Right.
And then the middle fruit is a much lower alpha acid, and we dry hop with that, so you're getting mainly a lot of aromas out of that one.
Okay. And like if we were going to take the same amount of grain that's in this, and this is kind of where this happy accident came from, use the same grain or very close to the same grain for some of our other beers, some of Cedar Glade's other beers, including Long Hunter, because that's what this was a mess up from.
Yep.
And which direction would you go with the hops on this beer to do Long Hunter instead? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it would primarily only be Amarillo and Citra in that beer.
Gotcha.
So you would take away the middle fruit, dry hop, no Centennial, and just swap everything else out with Amarillo.
Gotcha. So it's excellent. It's like I said, it's a little hoppier than a like what I would consider a traditional pale ale. But it's still very easy drinking. There's a good amount of citrus on that palate that really tones down the bitterness of that hop.
Yep.
I love this beer. It's a go-to. And of course it was the very first one that we ever
And
served.
for those
we
that
made.
don't like super malty pale ales, like there's a lot out there on the market,
They're almost sweet.
this is this is your beer.
Yeah, for sure. I also would consider this almost like a starter IPA.
Gateway beer.
Gateway beer. I love it. Maybe that's what we should have named it. I don't know. That's good.
Right?
All right. Second beer we're going to try today, seeing as how it is St. Patrick's weekend, is our red ale is not quite ready. King Rory III is not quite ready to take the throne.
Almost.
It's close. It's real close. So instead, what we're going to have is we're going to have our good friends up at Black Abbey, John and Carl up there doing it right. Been doing it now for 10 years, which is kind of awesome.
That's great.
They were my first microbrewery that I just loved, and I still love them. So we've got their Irish Red. We will have this in our can cooler for actually starting now and until it runs out. And, of course, we'll have this available on St. Patrick's Day. So if for some reason you want to try something a little bit different than Rory on St. Patty's, you can grab you a Black Abbey Red Ale. It's pretty. Right color.
It was really nice
That's really good.
malty characteristic to it. Like some toasted caramel in it.
Mm-hmm. There's it's on the I can't figure out exactly what I'm trying to say. A lot of times a red to me will have a little bit of a candy sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just not like a Belgian, right? Like
Yep.
not off the charts.
Yep.
This one finishes very much on the hoppy side of things.
Yeah, it definitely
To me.
does.
And I love that because that's more my speed. I don't what do you call it? Cloying, where it sticks to your tongue, the sweetness or whatever. Cloying sweetness, isn't that
Sure.
the word you've used?
I've never used that word in my life.
Yes, you have, because I had to ask you what it was. I learned a new word that day. Anyway, whatever. Maybe not. Maybe
Maybe
totally
we were
dreamed it.
drinking beer.
There's a pretty good chance of that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. but it doesn't linger. And like even now, some reds that I've had, you would still be tasting it.
Yeah,
And this one
definitely.
This one's super clean, finishes very, very completely, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, right after that toasted caramel flavor you get, then it just goes straight into mild but hoppiness.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I could drink an unfortunate amount of this beer. Yeah, this is really
Unfortunately.
good. Unfortunate amount. Yeah. Hey, good job, Carl and John. This is excellent.
beer.
Yeah, you guys did it right. 5.8% ABV. You can get it all over the place for a limited time, though. I'm sure. So come and get some of that. All right. Let's talk about you. Robert was like, man, you're gonna ask me questions and I'm not gonna know the answer and I'm gonna have to think about it.
I make beer. I don't talk about it.
Why do you make
That's
beer?
why you're here.
Why do you make beer?
I love making beer.
Why?
Because I love beer.
I mean, it's
pretty simple.
That's a good reason.
It's pretty simple.
Did you homebrew first?
Yeah, so I homebrewed, probably 8 years ago is when I started. And just little Mr. Brew kits, Mr. Beer kits, whatever it was, and just kept getting into it and started studying fermentation, fell in love with the science of it, and pursued a career. So here we are.
You do definitely nerd out on the science of it.
Oh, yeah.
There have been multiple times where I'll ask you a question and you'll start where I understand, and then all of a sudden you're like, shoo, way up over my head.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, all right, back up. Hang on a second.
Well, you're good at asking the right questions and working through things. Because a lot of times I have to, I guess, dumb myself down, and I'll start thinking too much. I'm like, hold on, who's my audience here?
Yeah.
So I got to slow it down a little.
Well, and what I appreciate about you, like when you're behind the bar, you do that well. You talk to people about beer at whatever level that they are.
Sure.
And I've heard you do it, and there's even been some times where I've been behind the bar and they'll ask some question about something, and I'll be like, I can give you an answer, but you're gonna like the answer from him better.
Yeah.
And pull you into those conversations.
Especially the people that are asking those nitty gritty questions. Those are the good ones.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So, we got you from Wyoming / Colorado State. So you were living in Wyoming, going to Colorado State.
Yep.
What made you choose MTSU?
That's a long one. So long story short, my wife got a job out here. There just so happened to be a university here that had fermentation science.
So it just kind of worked out.
That was it. It just worked out.
I mean, that almost sounds like divine intervention.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, the funny story about that is, again, long story short, after telling my wife's now boss then that we wouldn't move out here, the very next morning I looked up fermentation science in Tennessee, and it showed this Middle Tennessee State University. I'm like, oh, it's probably complete other side of the state. It was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, like 3 miles from.
And then we started seeing Tennessee license plates in Wyoming. Like, you never see that. So, I guess it was just meant to be.
Who was the comedian that, here's your sign?
Oh, Foxworthy?
Yeah. Was it him or
Foxworthy?
was it the other guy? Yeah, Bill Engvall. Thank you.
Close.
Thank you there, audience.
Those
Appreciate
guys.
that. That's awesome. So, since you've been at Middle, what is something really cool that you learned there that maybe you wouldn't have even been able to pick up somewhere else? Like, I know Dr. Johnson is doing a great job with that program.
Yeah.
What are some things that has opportunities that has afforded you that you're really thankful for?
Well, I mean, one, he's a huge wine guy, huge wine nerd, worked in industry for a long time, had his own winery, vineyard. So I was able to make wine, pick the grapes off the vine here in Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Make the wine, drink the wine.
Did you step on them with your feet like I Love Lucy? No? Okay.
I didn't do all that.
Just curious.
But anyways, so that was great. Awesome experience. Another one ties into Cedar Glade Brews in that I get to experiment and make the beer of the game for the home football games, which is 5 or 6 a year, which is amazing. So I love that opportunity.
Well, you really couldn't have landed at a better place with the ties to the university already, and then just strengthening that bond. That's been really good for you, for MTSU and for Cedar Glade.
Yep.
All right. What's your favorite kind of beer to make and why? From a guy that makes beer for a living.
Favorite beer is probably like a blonde ale because there's less grains, less hops, less manpower, less time.
Those grains get heavy, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your
Same
favorite?
amount of cleaning, but
Right. Well,
easier brew day.
like brewing is what, 90% cleaning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite beer to drink?
Probably like a Maibach. Something more on the maltier German side.
Yeah, with a lot of grain in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Rausch beer, love it or hate it?
Oh, love it.
Love it?
Oh,
Okay.
top.
Flanders, love it or hate it?
Love them.
Yeah. Brett sours.
Love them.
Okay.
It's going to be hard for you.
Is there a style that you just don't like?
Yeah, I don't really like ciders.
That's not beer.
Good job.
That's not beer. Is there a style of beer that you just don't like?
Okay, I don't like gozas. Ooh, yeah, I don't like gozas.
Really?
I don't like
So
salty
no
beer.
salt?
Nope, no salt.
Do you like Bloody Marys?
Nope. I don't like
Me
tomatoes.
Well, I don't like salty beverages.
Oh, okay.
Some gozas are okay.
Yeah, I don't like salt. That's where it's at.
All right, very good.
Yeah, goza. I don't think there's any others.
I'm Heffies and Rausch beers.
I knew
Don't care
that.
for either one.
Yeah, those are great.
Ugh, not for me. All right. Robert Hartman, Cedar Glade Brews. Come and meet him. He bartends every single Saturday night for now and brews all the beer over there.
Sure do.
Awesome. Thanks for being
Cool.
on the show.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, that is today's show. Thank you to Robert Hartman for being on with us, and thank you to Linda and Amanda for sharing a little bit about what you're doing in the homebrew scene. Thank you for all the breweries that have sent in some information, all the venues that have sent us some stuff. This is going to continue to grow, folks, and we're excited to be able to host this and to have this as a way to share what's going on in this community that we love. Next week, we're going to have one of the homebrewers come on with us, and we'll talk homebrewing, and we'll talk a little bit about their love for that here live in the studios, and we'll taste some beer together. It's going to be awesome. If you like this show, please do share it. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, all that kind of stuff, and make sure you tune in midday, somewhere around 10 to 2, somewhere around there on Wednesdays for the new episode. Here on the Spread the Positive Network. Big thanks to Trent back there pushing all the buttons, giving me the side eye, giggling at my stupid jokes and all that kind of stuff. And then for the cat wrangler extraordinaire, Miss Missy Lay, back there in the background as well, telling me that I'm talking too much. So we appreciate her. And then, of course, Cammie the Wonder Dog, who made an appearance in Linda and Amanda's video and is hanging out here in studio guarding us with her life. That's about it. Thank you so much. Go raise a pint and enjoy each other's company. Thank you.